Hi, this is Suzi Dafnis at Matson coming to you from the exhibition hall at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Now, we've had a keynote presentation every day, but we've also had some featured presentations, and this afternoon was a favourite entrepreneur of mine, a social entrepreneur named Blake Mycoskie. Now, you may be familiar with Tom's shoes. And the idea is that for every pair of shoes sold, they give a pair of shoes to someone in need. Then about 12 months ago, they did the same thing with glasses, originally sunglasses, now optical glasses. And today they launched a brand new one-for-one initiative.
You called him a social entrepreneur, and I think that's spot on because he actually deliberately made a decision to use business for good as distinct to do good through a not-for-profit, which I think is one of the things that has enabled them to do what they've done. Was it 15 million shoes that he cited today he has distributed to children in developing nations in need who otherwise would not have footwear, which actually in some countries prevents them from going to school and therefore getting an education.
Well, and disease, and there's a whole lot of other things. Yeah.
But the initiative that he launched today, oh my goodness, it couldn't be closer to my heart because it's coffee. It's coffee. He's launched Tom's Roasting Co. And what's quite profound about this is what they're doing is they have partnered with sustainable farmers in developing nations, which is where most of our coffee is produced. They are packaging it and then they are distributing it through Whole Foods here in the US and then through the Tom's Coffee Club. And for every bag of coffee sold, they will provide infrastructure to provide one person at least with clean drinking water for a week. It is a game changer in terms of providing clean drinking water. And it's funny, we've heard a lot this week about how important things like clean drinking water. In fact, Chelsea Clinton said in her keynote today around clean drinking water is the number one reason why we still have such dramatic issues in developing nations with diarrhea. And here's Tom's just going, no.
And deaths that resulted from that.
That's it. It's a horrifying statistic. And here's Blake Mycoskie saying, we're going to revolutionise. Well, we're going to use coffee, which is, it's not just my addiction. It's the addiction of a lot of people. We're going to use coffee to change the world.
So what he did was he went through a number of mistakes that he's made in the last 7 years since he started his business, and what he did that were really good decisions, like the one-for-one project, and what he did that were bad decisions. So it was very educational for those with businesses. There was a couple of notes that I made, and if I can just get my phone up here, is that it's really important for them to be profitable, because sometimes people will look at organizations making a profit and say, well, if you just gave more of that away, so they spend money so that they can make a bigger contribution. And I thought that was very insightful.
Well, and so they're also in control of their own destiny. We've seen a lot lately, particularly in Australia, where those really successful not-for-profit organisations, if they suddenly get their funding cut, they're out, and therefore their work stops too. So I love that he is using that use business for social good mission rather than, setting up a not-for-profit. I also really like too when he actually cited one of his decisions was after receiving some pretty hefty criticism around, well, you manufacture these shoes, you say you're so good, but you actually don't manufacture in these countries where you could actually be doing even better in terms of supporting the labour market. He's actually set up factories, and he set up a factory in Haiti that is providing employment and manufacturing the shoes that he's then selling, so they can still do the one-for-one shoe exchange, if you like, in developing nations.
If he's a new entrepreneur for you, the book I think is called Do Something That Matters, and so again we'll put a link to it. Very inspiring entrepreneur, young guy, doing good, and I know that a lot of people start out in business, and yes, they want to have a wage and have an income, but a lot of us want to make a difference, and he's just a great guide for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he fundamentally sits down on a regular basis and asks himself, how do I do better? How do I do more good through business? And he's shifted the paradigm now on 3 different business models: shoes, glasses, and now coffee. I find him quite inspirational. Toms.com is where you'll find more information, or if you just follow a hashtag called one-for-one on Twitter, you'll find all sorts of information about him.
Thank you so much for joining us at South by Southwest Interactive in Austin, Texas.